podcast next week, it'll just be Chernobyl, Too Old to Die Young, and Black Mirror. That's what it'll just be that.
Hello and welcome to the Special Moves podcast. This is episode 38. My name is Mike Williams and these guys are Liam McKelvey.
Hello.
And Jake Kokowski.
Hello.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, not
Better
bad.
than I've ever been.
Good, let's move on.
Whenever you've asked me that, it's never been as good as it is now.
I've always been not bad.
Really?
Yeah, best I've ever been, yeah. It's good.
That's good, that. It's good that you can
It's
say
the
that
highest
with
week.
such certainty.
Yeah, for sure. Best week ever, isn't it? Everything's got.
You have been very ill.
I've been ill, but it's been good. Look, I've had, it's been like one of them, just every day something exciting's happening. You guys know, I don't know, Baldurs Gate III was announced. We got to see, news, Pokemon being announced. Every day there's something big being announced.
Yeah.
It's my birthday tomorrow, but it'll be past that by the time this is out. I'm going out for some food. E3's coming up. Don't know. And again, like I said before, in an old podcast on Pretty Good Gaming, people used to say, if you could speak to anybody in the games industry, if you could chat with anybody alive or dead, who would it be? And I said it would be David Wise. And I had a conversation with David Wise yesterday, and I might be having a beer with him at Gamescom. It's like, I'm on the highest high, you know what I mean? How are you guys? Are you alright?
Well, I've just realised that I haven't gelled my hair for the podcast, so I'm
Look at this.
feeling a little bit...
I had a haircut, for 8 weeks. That's 2 months.
Really?
Yeah.
You're looking alright, though, considering that's...
I had one
8
little
weeks
trim
of
before
growth.
my wedding just because I didn't want to take the piss out of my wife for the pictures.
Of course.
But other than that,
What
I'm getting a bit of a Doc Cotton going on. I showed you my beard, which kind of gave it a little bit of imbalance, you know what I mean? Shouts out to the audience.
So when you had a bigger, fuller beard, it was like...
It was more in line with itself,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
But now you've tidied the
in
beard
comparison, you guys have cleaned up. You look great.
I'm just,
For the audio master race, you've got to take my word for it. They look fantastic.
I've got no idea what my hair looks like at the moment, and I'm a bit concerned about that. And I didn't
good.
realise that would be a problem until this has happened.
Yeah, it looks great.
And now I'm like, fuck.
No, really,
What if I've got hairs up here and stuff? Do you know what I mean?
That's fine.
Bad.
We're all good.
Who cares? Except for me. But
Yeah.
but anyway, let's not dwell on that. You've been playing any good games apart from chatting to your childhood heroes or whatever?
Yeah. You know what? I played Final Fantasy VII still. I'm carrying on with that. I played a bit of Outer Wilds. And They Are Billions has got a campaign launching next week, actually.
Well, you just reeled a few off there.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about their billions quickly? Or
Yeah, if I was going to pick one, I'd pick this. And it's only because there's one coming up, so I just wanted to say that I'm trying to get really used to that again, trying to get into the swing of things so I can go forth when a game fan... Because remember They Are Billions from last year or 2 years
of course,
ago?
yeah.
But it's been in early access, right? So the game launches its campaign next week. And I've been looking forward to that.
Yeah, me
So
too.
I had I downloaded Stronghold, right?
I went,
on your,
let's just...
on your recommendation. But what I'm trying to say is I've got all these games here that I've been turning on and immediately turn off. But the only one that's kept my attention is They Are Billions. So
Okay, that's interesting. I think the Stronghold guys could do a good job of the Are Billions type. We played Conan and Conquered.
been playing that as well.
And that's that's basically like the Are Billions, very close, but they've done some different things, got some hero units, and they've Conan'd it up a little bit. But I think Stronghold is a game about attack and defense, and that would probably make a really good fit because the whole game is about building up an economy and then walling yourself in and protecting yourself from the outside. So if you had a horde of whatever coming towards you,
exactly, a horde of whatever, cool. you can kind of adapt it. There's lots of ways that you could do it. Yeah. I feel sorry for the Conan Unconquered people in a way because the game was solid from what we played of it, and then I bought the game and I noticed that there's 3 hero units and one of them is behind quite an expensive paywall of 10 quid, and the game is 20 quid.
Yeah.
So it's 50% more. Which has really caused an outrage on Steam. It's got mixed reviews. So already you've launched a game with mixed to low reviews. Yeah. And then on top of that, the game that you've obviously made an homage to, They Are Billions, fully goes and launches a campaign 2 weeks after you launch. So they're kind of trapped between a rock and hard place between their own players kind of getting pissed off at them, new players being turned off by this paywall, and then existing players of the genre having the original game being I guess just upgraded. I think there's always
a little pattern when it comes to that sort of thing and pissing off player base and stuff. And for me, it always comes down to splitting things up. So if you have a game that comes out and you've split something away from it, or if you have which in this case is a a high-level hero unit or whatever. Or if you release a game and you, later down the line, you split the audience between those who are paying a subscription and those who aren't, or those who have got the map pack and those who aren't. That's when people get most upset. So if you can give people, if you can still like monetize stuff afterwards with cosmetics stuff and whatever, as long as everyone's got the same like assets and experience, you're paying like 30 quid or whatever to go in, and then everyone's got the whole game. I think that's if you're trying to keep people happy and avoid really annoying your audience.
For sure.
I think that's usually that's the theme in it. It's like cutting something out that means that certain.
That's the thing, and it feels like it's been cut out because, so the game, there's only 3 playable heroes. So when you start a mission, it comes up with 3 quite large icons. Conan, not Conan, no, like the woman, and then this dude, like some sorcerer guy. He is the one. But what I'm saying is, there's 3 icons, quite large icons, but one of them's literally got like chains on it and a padlock. So every time you do a mission, every time you do anything in the game, you're being reminded that 33% of the playable characters are behind a pay increase of 50% what you paid on the first day. So, normally stuff like that doesn't tend to be as noticeable, like that massive. I can't think of an example, but
it's. I mean, I think Total War was quite bad, especially the Warhammer one, where if you didn't pre-order, you didn't get Chaos, which is like, and there were only 4 factions. So if you think a normal Total War game has got like 10, 11, something like that, obviously there's a lot more variety in the Warhammer ones, and they're very different to play with. But when you have 4, you've only got this time. Your town players, there's only 4 factions in this one. And there is another one, but you have to pre-order it if you want to get it, or pay like 10 quid or whatever DLC to get it. Which
but you do see them in the game.
But that's in Total War. You can, when you
that's it,
and that's grating.
Yeah, it's right there. And what it does is it just makes you feel immediately like you need to unlock them, because it's just if it's an in-game unlock, then fine, and that kind of like is the carrot on a stick. But it does. I don't think it gives anyone a good feeling. No, it doesn't make people go, "Oh, I need to complete the collection by getting a tenner." You think, I've just paid this much, so that can be counteracted with some nurture as the game goes on. Unfortunately, though, I don't think they're going to have that breathing room to really grow, because, like I say, people who have probably already bought They Are Billions have got a reason to dip back into that now, and that's hours that people would be playing Conan Unconquered. So I don't think it's really good timing for them, to be honest.
No, you're totally right. I like that you do this. You do this thing of like you like pre-dip before the expansion, which is, I think we talked about this last week or the week before with No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
And you just like dive into it before the big expansion to like get yourself all limbered up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do you know what? Half of it nowadays is because I want to, like, if we want to make a video about it, I want to be able to just get straight on with it.
Sure.
I don't want to be like, let's say like I sit down for like 6 hours on No Man's Sky. I don't want to be spending half the time remembering what plants give me oxygen, what plants, so
relearning the basics.
Yeah, it's just because we're also busy at the moment. That like when I get time to record something or whatever for YouTube, I want to make it like good. So then if I got free time, I'm thinking, and also it's good to like remind yourself what the game was before, rather than
so you've got a fresh comparison.
Yeah, especially a UI change. By the way, forgot to mention, I think I did it last week, the exact same thing. There's one game I've been playing a lot this week. You know what it is, Apex Legends.
Right, yeah.
There's been a big update, Finally an update, like, changed the UI, changed, like, lots of stuff. There's, like, new challenges. There's a new, like, lobby. So if you come top 5, you get into, like, the elite lobby. But what's really weird is, like, the meta of the game has really been changed by that. So what I'm saying is, like, you play a regular game of Apex Legends exactly as you imagine if you guys played it when it came out. Everyone dips, drops, boom. They're all running around, shooting, this and that. Sorry about the coughing. Then, when you get the elite map, the top 5, the only way you can carry on playing that is if you become top 5 again. So everyone there doesn't want to get booted out of that lobby. They want to get top 5. So everyone's like camping, slow-paced, which is weird because the game isn't really designed to be slow-paced. But it's also good if you're ballsy, because if you've got a team of people who are like running around into buildings, even if people are camping, because you've got heroes with different abilities, you can really like disrupt their day. So, for example, like I was playing yesterday with these strangers, we were all communicating just with the ping system. We know that those are campers, but we've got a guy on our team that can throw gas grenades through windows and shit. You know what I mean? It's like so you can like rat them out. It's like being a rat catcher. It really changed the meta of the game. And today, day of recording, 2 days ago, if you're listening to this podcast on release day, they would have teased like the new hero Watson and all the exciting stuff. You know what? I must be like one of the only fucking people that gives a shit about this game anymore.
No,
it feels
no, no.
like it feels like it anyway. You know.
Still, still on my PlayStation, still up for playing it and stuff. Because it's easy to jump in and have a spin in it. That's the thing. It's so easy to just you're in it and you're playing. Within minutes you'll be in a match like playing.
Yes, it's again like it died off a bit.
Yeah.
It's double XP at the moment till Monday, which yesterday meant the servers were like kind of crashing. They were under so much stress.
Cool.
They were like, I don't know if you guys played it when you land and sometimes the game's in like slow motion for the first. Yeah. It was doing that again for the first time in months. But I've done nearly everything I can as Pathfinder, which is the character I play. So I've been going for the Platinum Trophy. So that it's like win a game as every hero. Get like 5,000 damage, which is about like 20 kills or something with every hero. And I've got one hero left that I need to do this with, and I hate it. I hate playing as this hero. It's Mirage. I've done it with every other character.
Which one's that?
He's the guy that can decoy, right?
Oh, so
I
you throw
can't
out,
win a fuck. All I need to do is win one game with him.
He's pretty good though, isn't he? He's...
I'm just struggling with him, right? So I've gone through the roster. I've won with every single hero. And I'm just not having a nice time because I'm constantly being pushed out of my comfort zone.
Let's get you sorted, mate. Let's get me and Liam will get back on it.
Well,
and then
well, now there's challenges. So there's like incentives to play as Pathfinder again for me. Like, comes up 5. So now I'm playing as my main again and it feels good.
Your motivation has changed rather than just trying to get the trophy.
But I have been doing, like, I've learned the heroes all quite well. Like, because apart from Caustic, who the first game I unlocked him, the first game I jumped into, I won with him. So I haven't really played as him again.
So he's the gas grenade.
Yeah. And the new hero looks mint, like electric and stuff like that. So, man, I'm proper loving it still. I'm like the fucking ambassador. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're listening, EA, yeah.
You should work in PR.
Some fucking shit. Yeah.
Liam, what have you been playing?
I played an awful lot of Yakuza Kiwami 2 after having it for like a year.
Yeah. So tell me which one is this in the context of the fucking Yakuza.
So this is a
series.
Overall, it is. What was it?
It's number 9.
Listen, Liam is struggling to answer this question.
It is like the 9th one.
It's
overall,
number 9, yeah.
And then, but it's a remake of the second game, which was on PS2.
which technically, in the chronological order of the series, is number 3. Correct?
Yes. In chronological order, it is number 3.
Right, that could not have gone any better for me, I've got to tell you. That's I really enjoyed
You got what you wanted then.
Yeah. So I finally...
So how was that?
It was very, very good. I finally finished it because Judgment is out in a couple of weeks. I'm really looking forward to that. And that's made by the same team, so I wanted to like get my prep work done.
So this isn't... Is that a sequel to it, or
no?
Just unrelated?
Judgment is just set in the same universe,
Okay.
Different story, different characters, but set in like the same fictional bit of Tokyo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot how fun Yakuza Kiwami 2 was, and it just got more and more insane as the game goes on. Any game where it ends with a boss fight against 2 tigers, what's not to like?
And by tigers, Liam doesn't mean some sort of Japanese crime family.
No,
he
not
means
some, like,
the giant cats.
Yeah, you have to fight against 2 tigers, and you get to suplex one of them.
Yeah,
wow.
That happens.
A real
That
game.
really
That would have
happens.
been my follow-up question, actually. Is there any wrestling moves?
Of course.
So this
Plenty
is
of wrestling
made
moves.
in... even though this is the second one, remade, blah, 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 Yakuza 6, which is the last in the mainline series, is on the Dragon engine, which is the newest engine. And this is made in that engine.
Yeah.
So it's like, basically, long story short, Yakuza 6 and this one, Yakuza Kiwami 2, are the only, like the newest feeling ones that are most refined from what I hear. So that makes it a better game, or is it... Because, like, I played Kiwami 1, last month. Because I was working on the PC release for Kiwami 2, right? So I thought I want to brush up on Kiwami 1, so I know what I'm talking about when I'm speaking to people about Kiwami 2. And I played it, and it felt like Sleeping Dogs, kind of like that, like age.
Why are you pulling that face when you're talking about Sleeping Dogs?
No, because I'm trying to think what year, like 2014, 15.
There's an air of disapproval about that.
No, Sleeping Dogs is fucking sick, by the way.
Thank you.
Let's get that clear.
The engine Kiwami 1 would have been on, they would have been using since 2006 when Yakuza 3 came out.
It does feel quite
on PS3.
old. Yeah.
Wow.
And then, so it was like long overdue. Big
Getting some
overhaul.
mileage out of that one then.
Oh, they did, for sure.
Yeah.
They even released some games on it last year. They still were using the old engine.
So this is why this new one is like apparently so like,
it is a lot
that's how
better.
they can Like, I was working on a PC port of it, and it's because it could be ported over nicely, because it's come from, like, such a fresh thing compared to this, yeah. But I played Kiwami 1, and I got to tell you, like, everyone said don't start with Yakuza 0, because it's so good that when you play Kiwami 1 after, which is the remake of Yakuza 1, it'll put you off.
So Yakuza 0 is the one that came out maybe last year,
2017, I think.
And it was like really early in the year, like January.
It came out around the same time Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, it was slightly before, if I remember rightly, and it was one of these games where, yeah, it was 2017, wasn't it?
It was, because I remember because Liam had it and sat on it for so long. Because I think it was the same year that Nier. And
it was a good year.
It was a good Liam year.
That's what I was going to say. So it was because there was so many of these games coming out that even like Yakuza 0, where there's a lot. I remember a lot of like YouTube videos and stuff floating around of people saying, "Oh, I've never played Yakuza before," but there's so many cool games, and Yakuza 0's got really like proper good reviews.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd really like awoken to the series. To be honest, like I'd not really thought about it before that. I still haven't played it yet, but I think they gave one away, didn't they?
That's it, Yakuza Kiwami.
Kiwami's the one they gave away.
So apparently Zero's the best place to start, because it was, first of all, it's the first one chronologically.
Yeah.
And then second of all, because it's fairly new and it's not made like Kiwami, it's like, it's better to play. I think, Liam, you're going to know more than me, I guess, but is that about right?
Zero and Kiwami are made on the same engine, so they play very similar. But I think it's because Zero has quite a lot of different because you've got two main characters in that one instead of just one, and you can have multiple fighting styles, so you got like different ways to play through it. So you want to go like fast, you can. You want to go strong, you can.
Right.
So
and there's just more variety in Zero, to be fair.
Is it mainly like martial arts game where you're battering people?
Yeah.
But you know, because everyone's always like, "Oh, it's so nuts, you can do everything in it." But like, what's the bread and butter of it?
So if you were just to like play through the main story, it is mostly just like fighting people, but with martial arts moves,
chucking people through windows.
It's solving your problems with your fists simulator.
Yeah, and high kicks.
Like because you got special actions as well. You got your little like it's called the heat bar. That's true. And when you build that up, you can do special attacks. Like if you're near a bridge, you can just pick a guy up and throw him off the bridge.
Yeah, which then of course spawns the sexy heat bar, where you
sexual heat.
Yeah. so the heat
bar.
The heat bar is what and gives you the power to throw people off bridges.
That's what when you see all the like really over the top like execution moves,
the cinematics type stuff.
Yeah, they're like your special moves.
They're heat.
They're called heat actions.
There's so the Judgment's on the way, right? And it's a game where you play as like a private eye detective kind of character.
Yeah, I've heard this, right? Yeah.
So this is it's already out in Japan and it's doing really well.
It's like Yakuza mix Phoenix, right?
That's it, yeah. So it's coming out, and so Sony are pushing it because it's like I think it's Sony's only AAA game out this month that isn't like a remake. So Crash Team Racing's out.
Yeah.
But and because it's got like 9s and 10s in Japan, it's doing really well over there. Like they know that they can push it. So they've done lots of story stuff, but they released a trailer like 2 weeks ago of the fighting, and like
it's so good.
It's so crazy. Like one of the heat finisher kind of things is you're fighting these guys in a park. You get on a swing, you get a bit of momentum, and then you just swing into them. That's it. Like,
and you do.
How do they show that in a trailer? How do they show the build-up of momentum? You swing your legs back.
You see him like running, then he goes and does that. Yeah.
Like the moment-to-moment gameplay of Yakuza is so over the top.
I can't believe they put that in a trailer.
When they combine it with like such a very self-serious story that takes itself. It's like it tries to be like Godfather levels of intricate criminality, psychology. But then it's just a bit mad at the same time. Like, there was a boss fight where you fight two bosses and they end up shooting each other about 12 times in Yakuza Kiwami 2.
Yeah, well, you're not a boss for nothing, are you?
And one of them still lives and fights you again.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's funny because it's like... It's always a story generator, isn't it? Liam's always got a good story.
I finished the club campaign as well. I was the #1 nightclub.
Cabaret club.
Jesus
It's a throwback to the first ever Special Moves podcast, I think. Liam's Guide to Japan.
It was, yeah. I successfully defended my construction site with Majima.
Is this the one where real estate is the enemy? Or is that Yakuza 3?
No, that is... that's
one of them, the main bad guy, Mike, is just real estate, the concept.
Okay,
that might be Yakuza 3 actually.
Communist messages.
Well, if you do the clan, they've got a side game called Clan Creator, which is a bit like tower defense-y type thing, where you defend a construction site because one of the characters is building like a house and estate or something.
So it's full of like mini games and stuff. Though, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah,
It's full of like
mini
different
games
stuff.
out through the roof, and yeah, like that's sort of the enemy is real estate, because you've got like land sharks trying to steal your land, and you just got to fight them off.
I don't know where I mean, I feel like this conversation has completely got away from us. To be honest,
Honestly,
You're always going down a rabbit hole when it's Yakuza.
I don't know where to. I don't know where to go with
Look,
that.
you can straight punch a tiger in the face.
Right.
What else do you need to know?
Listen.
Beat that. What have you been playing?
And
can you do
just
that?
And there was
fucking-
men acting like babies, if you remember that.
Oh yeah, the that,
Let's
Come on, let's
pacify
pacify
this
this
bitch.
yeah, that was a moment that we all shared. I think, wasn't it? Did we all watch that somewhere?
Yeah. On your very
fucking
TV,
hell.
if I remember.
Jesus Christ!
Because Jake put it on.
Can we,
And
move
that's
on, can we
Yakuza.
move on from Yakuza?
Yeah, go on. I don't think I've played anything else this week, to be honest with you.
How could you? I mean, that's a lot to
All
process.
encompassing, isn't it?
Yeah. I've been playing Outer Wilds, which is.
I did just played some. Sorry, go on.
You played some of that?
Not Outer Wilds. I just remember I played Dauntless. You know, the free-to-play Monster Hunter
Oh,
game.
yeah.
I
Oh,
played
for sure,
a fair
yeah.
bit of that.
Yeah.
What is that? Like it's on
Oh, yeah.
PS4, isn't it? I think. But
It's
It's
everywhere.
I've
yeah.
seen it. Trailer,
everywhere,
yeah.
full cross-platform as well.
What is it?
Yeah, I noticed Liam sneakily being on. Sometimes I'm on and it says Liam's on, and I'm like, oh, I see you, boy.
Yeah.
It's cross save.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we're even friends on there though, because is it because we're friends on PlayStation or something?
Yeah, I think so.
We're friends everywhere.
You have
Me
to
and Liam are
link-
friends full
well,
time.
Like you have
It
to
just
link
knows.
all your different accounts,
Yeah.
and then it'll say who's online where.
But what is it? What's the game?
Monster Hunter.
It is basically Monster Hunter, but with a slightly cartoony aesthetic.
Yeah,
Free
I'd say
to play.
Good luck.
free to play. Combat is probably a bit more forgiving than Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
I would say
Very nice actually.
It
For
is
what it
good.
is,
for a free to play game, it is pretty
it
impressive.
doesn't shove shit down your throat. To be fair, does
No,
it? Like,
it is a bit grindy though when you get in a few quests.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah.
then again, that's like the nature of Monster Hunter games, really.
Well, yeah, of course, that's it. Like when you do the campaign of Monster Hunter World,
That's what it is, isn't it?
this is pure grind.
Sorry
Well,
to
this is
interrupt you there, Mike.
it's got that epic kind of battle pass vibe to it. It's
It
let me
has-
tell you something. It's doing fucking numbers on
Yeah,
Twitch.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard a lot of people like talking about it on Twitter and shit like that.
Exactly.
And,
All
It's
of
worth a go.
that's it. Yeah, all of my like fucking the stream it in a circle like Kale and all them.
Yeah.
They were Monster Hunter fans,
Yeah.
yeah. And because Iceborne isn't out yet, everyone,
which is the Monster Hunter.
which is the Monster Hunter big expansion, yeah, lots of new monsters and a whole new biome in this. They are all trying to get the rust off, but they want to play something new. They're playing Dauntless, and it's doing well. People are loving it. The community's loving it, and like Dauntless people themselves must be loving it because it's just going mad.
I reckon
It's
when
going mad.
when that happens, I reckon it's probably like partly terrifying as well. Like they're like, fuck, we have to deal with this now. There's a massive number of people who are really.
Have you seen the
enjoying it.
queues? Have you seen this stuff online?
No.
Like, have you ever been caught in a queue?
I was one time I went on it. This was around the time it launched, and it put me. I was estimated 2,000 in the queue.
41,000 is the worst I've seen, and that was when I was in Greece. I just checked
Which
my
is
phone
just
a couple
like
of times.
MMO days, isn't it?
It's like queuing to get into RuneScape, exactly that. So it's like, yeah, I don't think they was expecting it to pick off as
Yeah.
much as it did. But
I can't remember what I think it was like the Astroneer no clip documentary or something. And so when they're talking about the point where the developers of Astroneer realized that there was like hundreds of thousands of people playing the game, and they were just like shitting themselves and they were panicking. They were having to work like loads and loads and loads because they were having to just push patches out. And there was so many. Obviously, when you've got that many people playing, you've got so many more like bug reports and stuff.
yeah,
and
all
people,
these variables, yeah.
and they're like, so they had to just like really double down. And obviously, it's great, but there's like another side to it, which is just like having to cope with a massive workload that I think a lot of people won't realize that if a game is big, that means there's a huge team behind it that can cope. Like, I don't know what the case is with Dauntless.
Well, I know it's epic, right? So
Yeah, so they'll have, but we all know that Epic have been crunching like crazy for Fortnite as it is.
their heads are all in vices right now. Let's see.
Yeah, so
sure.
now they're having to. There's another part of the company working on another totally other free-to-play game that's also doing huge numbers. So then you don't. Who knows what people like? I think it's interesting to think of like what we see compared to what's going on.
They are
behind the
literally being
scenes, like.
crushed under pressure right now, probably
Yeah.
because it's not even like long enough for them to recruit new people. So it would
Yeah,
just be
of
the
course.
existing people who, they've probably had one day to celebrate their success, and then day two is literally fuck, because they don't want to piss people off with like kicking them out of service.
Yeah.
But the service,
especially when it's an online game like that.
Yeah, exactly. And in my experience playing it, like the server delays really do affect shit. Like it proper makes you lag, doesn't it?
It goes like slideshow at times because of how hard the servers are being hit.
Yeah, I haven't played it above fucking 18 FPS.
Yeah.
I thought it was my PS4 struggling to run it.
Yeah,
but no, it's
it runs fine on PS4. It's just how overloaded the servers are.
Yeah.
Interested to see how this goes over the next few weeks, though, Dauntless, because it's doing well.
Cool.
Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds, yeah. So I played. So this came out. Was it last week or the week before?
2 weeks ago, on Game Pass and.
Xbox and PC, but it's on the Epic Store on PC. So I got it. I just bought it for because it was on sale.
Yeah, Epic Game Store's got that huge fucking sale on where they're really competitive.
And this is the game that has got me. Epic Store have been giving games away and stuff like that, and
Kingdom
for free.
New Lands is out today.
They're just giving games away and these huge discounts and stuff. But this is actually the game that has got me to download the Epic Store and get it signed up, because I really had to play this game because the reviews came out for it and they were really, really good. And it's basically it sort of reminds me of Sea of Thieves in a weird way, where everything's sort of like tactile and chunky and things, and it's like quite a slow paced first-person exploration thing. You're basically in a solar system in space, and you can explore it in your spaceship, and you've got like a space suit that you can wear as well, which has got that XYZ sort of directional flight control thing with thrusters. Yeah. So it's quite tricky to control, and that the same goes for the ship and the suit. And it's basically a sort of quite a sad little dark story that's happening, and you have to figure out what it is. And it's it's one of them games where you die and keep respawning, and it's the same thing happens over and over again. That's the main
thing that everyone probably would have read, right? If you're not familiar, it's the one where it's every 20 minutes a supernova happens. Yeah,
it's So the solar system just collapses, the sun just expands, and the first time it happens, it completely catches you off guard, and you're like, fuck, this is, it really threw me anyway, and I couldn't, I thought I'd fucked it up somehow, but it was, and then I remembered, it's the game where the solar system keeps exploding, but it's really, really good, and it's I really like it anyway. I've not played a huge amount. I played probably 2 or 3 hours or something, but it feels like a lot because you keep getting these 20-minute loops, and then so you remember where characters are in the solar system. There's some really nice little things that make it work well. So you can say you're trying to get to a planet, you can autopilot to it, but when you're autopiloting, the ship will tell you what it's doing, so you can kind of get better at pilot. Well, that's how I read it anyway. You can get better at piloting yourself. So it says it's like locking the speed, it's like making the direction first and then setting the speed and whatever, so if you want to do stuff manually, you kind of get a better feel for how to do it. You can also you can really easily match your speed with floating craft or anything like that, which is it's such a basic thing, but if you just point at something and hold A, then your ship will match the velocity or whatever it calls it with the with the floating
stay
debris
alongside it,
so you can repair it or you can go out and inspect it or whatever.
So this isn't like a No Man's Sky procedurally generated universe. This is a very handcrafted thing, isn't it?
Yeah, trying to do the very same thing as No Man's Sky, but in a totally different way. Trying to give you the same sense of mystery and intrigue and what's out there in the stars, sort of thing. Except there is a very finite amount of space, and everything has been designed and laid out. Exactly. It's not procedurally generated. There's loads of characters in there. There's no voice acting, but it's like it's sort of got that Myst sort of classic PC clicking around for what's going on.
You know what it has? I played, don't know, 45 minutes of it or something like that. Yeah. It is like Myst, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Because and the way that it unfolds is really nice. The starting, to be honest, I wasn't that into it for the first 20 minutes until I got off the planet, and I was like, okay, I kind of get it now. And the intrigue was the way the mystery sort of unfolds is really good, and the universe resetting every 20 minutes at first can seem like it's a little bit annoying, you think, just as I'm getting somewhere, but then you sort of, I don't know, you reach a moment where it just sort of clicks, and you think, now I remember that is there, this is there, it does have that thing of you have a log and you remember, at the beginning you need launch codes before setting off, but then you don't have to get the launch codes every time once you've done it. Once you've got it, you've got it. So you seem to be the only one who realizes that there is some sort of time loop thing going on. Then you meet other characters and you get, it does become a lot more interesting. The opening is quite nice. Like, it's all set on one planet where, there's like a gravity cave that you can go in, and there's,
it's just a tutorial, isn't it?
Exactly,
yeah.
But it's quite nicely done. And I think that if it hadn't got such great reviews, I just wouldn't have looked at it, to be honest. But I'm really glad. I'm really glad I did, and I don't know. I was really pleasantly surprised when I played it. Even having read the good reviews, I was just at first thinking, okay, be amazing, which is what you sort of, not like that snarky, but that's what you sort of think. Oh, I can't wait for this amazing game to get going.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you start playing it and it does still manage to surprise you, it's pretty special. I reckon it was like £10 or something on the Epic Store after the discount.
Heavy discount, yeah.
And I also finally bought Hades, but I haven't played it yet. Mainly because I was like, well, I'm here now. I've got the Epic Store.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And it's an Epic Store exclusive, right? Hades, but you'll come round, you'll play it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. If they can give me a release date on it, if they can say, Hades full final version is coming, even if it's like early next year or whatever, I'll wait. I've got it now. I'll just wait. And it was like £5 or something. But yeah, that's all I've been playing really. Outer Wilds. So you haven't played a huge amount of it yourself. You've only played 45
like minutes. I say, not really many things have stuck with me. I've not been very well, have I? So like my attention span's just been like, I don't know, I'm just struggling to pay attention to things.
Do you know what's a massive factor in that? I think, right, voice acting. If that was like a nicely like narrated or voiced game, but it's not. It's such a basic thing.
I think the music was like so relaxing, so nice, and I was ill and I was comfortable, and it was like sending me to sleep. Honestly, it was,
Yeah.
So I'll play it. I'll recover. I'll come back stronger, and I'll take it head on. All right.
It does have that like kids, like a baby's little whatever you call it.
Little fucking mobile thing. Isn't it?
That's it. Little mobile feel. Because everything is big and like Sea of Thieves, like big and chunky and cartoonish, I guess. And
very Game Pass.
It is very Game Pass.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's becoming a thing to me though.
But it's a cool game. It's a cool game. If you like No Man's Sky or you like the thought of No Man's Sky,
are we going to do a video on it now? Well, you just kind of just talked about it, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. That's true.
I've had it installed on my Xbox since it came out because of Game Pass, but I haven't even booted it up yet. I've been meaning to try it for ages.
I mean, it's
not a game that you have to rush to see, though, is it? Do you know
exactly. I feel like I've got other stuff.
Very much something that you do.
That's like a nice Sunday afternoon game.
I'd say so, Make sure you get a coffee or else you'll fall asleep like me.
Yeah. Don't make the same
my infantile brain was
I did that playing Final Fantasy 14 once. I was really tired and it was so relaxing just wandering about and grinding that I started to nod off.
Getting old, mate. You're getting fucking old.
The old age of 23.
Old people are going to be so interesting when our generation is in a care home. They're going to be like, oh, fucking Liam's on the Monster Hunter again. Liam's on the grind again. I've been relaxed
since I played Final Fantasy 14.
I do it all the time. If I put Netflix on and like Jake, I wasn't feeling a bit well. I do. If it's a relaxing show like Our Planet, I do start to nod off, even though that's like quite distressing at times.
It's extremely traumatic. Well, it gets you in the first 40 minutes, and it's like
our second episode.
Look at all this lovely. Look at the walruses. Look at the walruses. Now look at the walruses as they fall to their death.
It got to me.
That's real. That's what happens in Our Planet.
That's
spoilers.
A spoiler there,
walrus spoilers. All right. So that's what we've been playing, I guess. But there's been quite a lot of news this week, like you were saying earlier, Jake's one. I think your exact words were the best week of my life. Oh God, I'm so happy, something like that.
Yeah, not because of this game news. It's just been,
but that was part. I'm sure that was. Part
it was part of it, and the gaming news is part of it.
Yeah,
and half of it, right? I just want to get this out of the way because it's good. As you know, I work in the games industry now, and loads of my job is PR. In fact, that is my job. But but loads of
large part of my job. Actually, that's what my job is.
Yeah. But a lot of my job is preparing games for release and seeing what my job is basically speaking to streamers and YouTube video makers about games and saying, hey, do you want to cover it? Here's a copy of the game. But there's games that I know have existed for ages and I wasn't allowed to talk about them. So obviously, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, Darksiders Genesis, Destroy All Humans, and Baldur's Gate 3. They were the big ones, right?
So there's a bit of a salvo.
And this whole week, now I'm finally like, ugh, do you know what I mean? Because like we were doing an E3 video and like what we're excited for, and obviously Baldur's Gate 3 is like the most exciting thing. Baldur's Gate 2 is like one of my favorite games ever made. Divinity Original Sin 2 is like one of my favorite games ever made. Now that it's happening, it's like the most exciting thing ever. So, this is a thing, just maybe for anyone that's just like only kind of new to the channel, whatever, just know that because I'm working PR for it, doesn't mean I'm only excited about it because it's my job or anything like that. Anyone that knows the channel knows how much we all like Divinity Original Sin 2. I actually got my job in a way because of how much I like Divinity Original Sin 2. And yeah, like I know a lot of the people watching this, like in our Discord and stuff, people were like, "Oh my god," because they're all into Divinity as well. Like, yeah. But Baldur's Gate 3, that was a huge announcement. So obviously the trailer was just cinematic.
Pretty hardcore, wasn't it?
Yeah, you saw, Soldier the Burning Fist get turned into an Illithid or a Mind Flayer, which finally reveals that, yeah, there'll be Mind Flayers taking over the Forgotten Realms. It's very exciting. And there's going to be loads more information at E3, which by the time this video's out will be already announced. But if you're not really into reading all the articles and all that, it's in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, which, have you guys played Dungeons?
Is it the newest edition?
I haven't. No, it's not, but it's like quite a beloved one apparently, because 2nd edition is like really well known. 4th edition is a bit of a mess apparently, and 5th edition's like a big favourite. So this is like quite a popular one. In the 90s it was. So yeah, and then like in real life Dungeons and Dragons, the tabletop stuff. I mean,
yeah. There's
a new Baldur's Gate story coming out, Descent into Avernus, I think, and they're all connected. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be fucking mad to see what they do with it. It's going to be bigger than Divinity Original Sin 2. And I don't know if you guys saw, like, Divinity Original Sin 2 had, like, gamumentaries and stuff. Like, there's lots of videos covering DOS 2. But one thing that they said was Act 2 of Divinity, Reaper's Coast, Fort Joy, that whole island, Reaper's Coast, and the places in Act 3 and 4 was all supposed to be part of Act 1. But it had to be cut. Do
you know, when you played, I said in the last podcast that I've been playing loads of Divinity Original Sin 2, and I've come to the conclusion that it's the best game since Bloodborne. It does feel like weirdly, although I genuinely, right, my time on, I did a manual save, right? I usually quick save. I did a manual save so I can see how much I've played it, and I've been playing it for 50 hours, and I'm still on Act 2. Right, I'm near the end of Reaper's Coast, but I've been playing it for 50 hours, and that's just 2 areas. Yeah. So I can simultaneously see how they probably imagined that this is just you're on this island, you're hopping onto that island, then you're moving on, and you move. It does seem like when you zoom out and look at the map, it's not massive. It's dense. But exactly, yeah. And there's so much shit in it that you end up spending hours and hours and hours prodding around. And I haven't been dying loads. I've just been playing it on normal. I haven't been doing anything wrong. I've been like I've been speaking to all the squirrels. I've been like just picking it clean.
Yeah, exactly.
And not even in a completionist way. I've just been going, oh, what's over there? Oh, what's over there? Yeah. And I've just spent 50 hours on the first 2 acts, so I can see why it would make sense. They probably thought initially, oh, we need like 8 of these islands or something.
Exactly.
But then when you actually play it and the amount of stuff they put in
because the amount of steps until there's a new action point, it's not like Skyrim when there's like a 3-minute excursion over some fucking mountains to get somewhere.
Some wolves on the way.
There's nearly something in every screen, right? And and that's the same with like most CRPGs, to be honest. There's not loads of dead space. Mm-hmm. It's all like pretty dense. They're dense games. So yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 has the potential to be the powerhouse CRPG. It's like it's got all of the power of the old series, and it's licensed by the inventor of the real, true RPG experience, Dungeons and Dragons. Like that from the. Do you know what I mean? High fantasy is pretty much, and I know this might be quite risky to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Tolkien and D&D are pretty much the 2 influences for like 99% of high fantasy. If it's not one, it's the other. It'll be more grim, dark Game of Thrones shit coming forward. But you can find D&D influences in pretty much.
But Tolkien writes these books that sort of establishes like the rule book. Then D&D comes along, gamifies it, builds it into a more of a I don't know, some sort of really geek culture-y thing that you can sink your teeth into with numbers and items and things that you can apply, and it's sort of evolved naturally since Lord of the Rings, since like the 50s and stuff.
Especially into gamifying the system. You're totally right. And like the lore runs so deep into this, and this is my favourite thing, has been looking at this trailer that you would have seen for Baldur's Gate 3 and then seeing breakdowns from people. Yeah. Because there's a word for what happens in that. Like clemiotosis or something. And you know exactly that's like it's explained in the monster manual from like the 90s. That the Illithids, the Mind Flayers do that, why they do it, how they do it. So the lore is so deep, the stuff that they can work on is so strong. Like with Divinity Original Sin 2, they're running on lore that people might not have been aware of, unless you played like DOS 1, who Brachus Rex is, and no one's been playing the old Divinities, surely. Like, but this is, they're landing hot with the lore, so, what an exciting announcement. And like, I'm glad, the thing is, so like, it kind of like leaked a little bit, didn't it? Like a couple of days before the announcement. So right. The announcement, which happened at Google Stadia, by the way, wasn't really like the big mind blow that we all hoped it was going to be. We were really excited for it to blow the internet apart, but in fact, because it was announced like somewhere and then Reset Era, then Reddit, and then all this, everybody was kind of...
It was more of a confirmed.
It was confirmed. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait if this is real, and everyone was like excited.
Yeah.
But then 5 days later it was announced. So that was a really big announcement for me. Obviously it's something I've been working closely with over the past 3 months, and I want to see how you go. But as you also know, look how big the game is. It's not like a game, and it's out right now. So I don't know. I don't think you guys are really as into Baldur's Gate. No, like you guys didn't play Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah, for sure. And I also played a lot of the the ARPG one that was like
Dark Alliance.
Yeah.
People don't give any credit to them. They're quite good. Them.
No, that's the only one I played. Dark Alliance.
Played it loads with my little brother back when he played games.
I said I don't like ARPGs last podcast, but I did really like playing it. A friend of mine who's not around anymore, he used to play it on the Xbox with me all the time. I spent hours and hours on it. Loved it.
Right. Yeah. So I played loads of that, and yeah, I think to be honest, if it wasn't for Divinity, I probably wouldn't be that excited about Baldur's Gate, but now but having played Divinity Original Sin 2 and Divinity Original Sin 1, and I'm really, really liking especially DOS 2. I'm well excited for this. It's like I think I like the idea of CRPGs more than I actually like Pillars of Eternity. I really want to play that and I really want to finish it and enjoy it, but it's like. And the best time I've had with it is when I've just been like sat down like as if I was about to read a book or something. And
you have to be in that mode, receptive.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I think
really,
if it was on the Switch, I could see myself going the distance on it because Pillars of Eternity. And I think isn't one of them on the Switch? Isn't like Dead? Or is one of them coming to the Switch or something? Pillars 2 or something.
I think Deadfire has been announced to be worked on, or is it just rumored? I don't know. What I do know,
I feel like I've seen something about, but anyway,
the only one I know is Wasteland.
Yeah,
on the Switch.
So I played that and it didn't quite translate as well as I was hoping.
Yeah, it's this is a really tough one because I don't know how to say it. It's like speaking to you guys. If you hadn't played like any of the Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9, you don't really know how well they translate.
Yeah.
Like you guys like 9 a lot, for example. Like I think I reckon that would translate well, but you just don't know, do you? Like for example, and by the way, this is nothing to do with us now. Just for the record, like I'm working with Larian Studios, so if it's not Larian, it's nothing to do with me. So don't think I'm trying to sell you anything when I say this now. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and Planescape Torment and Neverwinter Nights are all coming soon to the Switch.
Yeah, so they are the classic.
It's Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 in a collection and the expansion. Planescape Torment and I can't remember what the other one is.
Is it Tides of Numenera?
No, it's 2 old ones.
Okay.
In a compilation, and it's just Neverwinter Nights by itself. All of them are £40. So Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 is £40 on the Switch, and it's out in September. Very
money.
pricey.
That's a bit much,
ridiculous.
especially when they're on sale on like GOG right now.
They are about £3.
Yeah.
Genuine. Now.
Even on mobile, they're like £5
Yeah.
when they're on discount and stuff.
The thing about this is, like, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know whether I'd recommend it because Baldur's Gate 3 is 100 years after Baldur's Gate 2, so it's not going to be like a direct sequel.
Yeah.
I hope that there is going to be lots of nice Easter eggs. Like Minsk and Boo is obviously the one that everybody who's played Baldur's Gate 2 wants, and which is like this story about this. I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm on about? All right, this is like the comic relief character, this guy Minsk, and he's got a hamster called Boo that he speaks to telekinetically, and it's like a bit of a meme. I think BioWare put him in a Mass Effect game, Boo the Space Hamster.
All right.
Anyway, so
he was in like
he's
the
a Baldur's
cabin.
Gate.
Right.
Yeah. So Baldur's Gate 2 is going to be cool. Hopefully, people will get on board, and then there'll be some allusions to the characters because they are really fucking good.
Well, they would have won people. People will follow Larian now as well as people following the series.
Do you know what? Yeah, I found that is it online. From what I've been reading, I wanted to check out what the hype was, and the thing that kind of shocked me in a way was like more people are like, "Cool, played DOS 2. I guess I'll pick this one up," rather than like, "Oh my god, Baldur's Gate 2, fucking freeze happening."
Yeah.
Like,
it almost feels like Bethesda taking on the Fallout franchise and people going, "Oh, Bethesda are making a Fallout game, not oh, there's a new Fallout game."
And to me, that's like, and someone's so obviously like, don't know, familiar with it. It's like, what?
Yeah.
How do you not know? Do you know what I mean? Just get a grip, Jay. But it's like, yeah,
glad you said it.
Someone ever playing a Pokemon game, what? You're going to say, go play Pokemon Red? Nah, mate, you're not anymore. It's hard.
I don't know. I would.
That's what I mean, because you played it. I would say right now, play Baldur's Gate 2, but would it work?
Pokemon Red would be an amazing mobile game.
I don't know if I'd say try and play Fire Red at least, which is the GBA remake.
See what I mean? Like, it's hard to deal with it, isn't it? So it's been weird.
Let's talk about the new Pokemon though, because that's like you can't move on from that now.
Exactly.
Have you got anything else that you have to say?
No, all I'll say is, Baldur's Gate 3 is probably the most anticipated game in existence for me that's ever happened. I've
heard you say that at least 5 times before.
Yeah,
you know.
do you want to know something funny? Yeah,
did you say that about Sekiro?
He definitely did.
Hang on a minute, guys. Yeah, wait till next week when I tell you Final Fantasy 7 is the most anticipated. Yeah. No, for real. Honestly, I've said this before. Baldur's Gate 3 would be the dream, but I always thought it'll never live up to it. But then you play to the original Sin 2 and you go, oh my god, do you know what I mean? But
my gut instinct is they're going to smash it. But
yeah, it's not a remake, and that's the thing. Like Final Fantasy 7 remake, Tenchi remake, new From Software, and Baldur's Gate 3. That's your top tier like anticipation stuff for me. And
it's all coming at once for you.
It is, isn't it? It's all coming up Millhouse.
Oh, look at that face. Liam, let's talk about Pokemon then.
Okay.
Seeing as we're on the topic. So there's a bit of a Pokemon Direct this week.
There was on Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday the 5th or 6th of June.
Like 3 o'clock on Wednesday?
It was like quite early in the afternoonish.
Yeah.
And so we got some proper gameplay for the first time since the reveal thing.
For the upcoming Pokemon,
for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Which is coming out
November 15th.
November the 15th.
Right, yeah.
1 week after Death Stranding.
Yeah, cool. Totally different audience.
You say it's all happening for me.
You say totally different audience, but Death Stranding on Pokemon
I was gonna say,
a week
Liam
apart
would buy
is
them
like
both.
heaven for me.
Yeah.
For you specifically, yeah. But I think the Venn diagram of
it doesn't cross over much.
I reckon there'll be people.
The country of Japan.
Yeah. I don't know though. I don't know if they'll be that into it. Like even within that, like if you look at Japanese mass market, there's still like Death Stranding would still be pretty niche. But Pokemon would be like fucking.
But I reckon
everyone's on that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So therefore, everyone that buys Death Stranding will probably still be into Pokemon.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Because it's so.
Because it's so.
Yeah,
huge.
exactly.
Right. Okay. Interesting. But what did we see then? What did we see in there?
So we got new characters, which is standard. You got Professor. I think it was Magnolia this time round because
they're all named after like plants or trees or whatever.
Yeah, this time. And then we got some new Pokemon. We got Wooloo, the sheep Pokemon.
Actually, does look like a pretty fucking good Pokemon.
It does, to be fair. And because this one looks like it's inspired by the UK, it wouldn't be complete without sheep Pokemon, would it?
No, yeah.
We got
as in the game. The game looks.
The game is heavily like the last one, Sun and Moon, were like heavily Hawaiian.
So sorry
Well, I
about the
don't know.
coughing,
I
lads.
don't know. I'm
I
asking
don't know.
you.
No,
but-
I didn't.
Yeah, well,
say
Sun,
yes.
Sun and
Yes.
Moon were like heavily Hawaiian influenced.
Okay.
So and this one, Sword and Shield, are very like UK influenced.
Right.
Which I found, as we found out from the direct, the lead designer is from the UK.
Okay.
So that's why
Oh
it
right,
looks
makes a lot
like
of sense.
yeah.
that's why it looks like the UK this time
Where's the
round.
love for, like, do you know what I mean? Eastern Europe or something? Why isn't there one
No,
that's like,
there is one with like Prague-like houses.
yeah,
Shit like that,
There's
yeah.
one that's inspired by like Paris and stuff.
Yeah,
lovely. Which one's that?
That was
X and Y,
I believe.
Yeah. Fucking,
What about-
fucking chuffed. I knew that, you know.
You said that in
that's,
sync as well, which
yeah,
is,
I got that. That's the last one I played, and it was
Yeah.
like, there was a lot
The
of
big
that.
city even
That's
has
it.
an Eiffel Tower looking thing in it
Yeah.
in X and Y.
Yeah.
But yeah, so new. What else have we
I
got?
did say Eastern Europe.
This-
but,
Oh yeah, yeah. sorry.
You want Russia?
Oh, yeah, fuck, yeah. Someone's been watching Chernobyl, hasn't he? Right, so it's
well,
the Galahar region. That's the
that's
name
what
of
it's
this shit,
called, yeah.
Great Britain.
And there's even like football stadiums instead of normal Pokemon gyms. They look like football stadiums for some
Yeah.
reason.
right.
And we got Corviknight, who's a big raven Pokemon, literally a giant raven. Apparently he acts as a taxi, but it looks like if you looked at it, it'd cut your head off.
Yeah.
He acts as a taxi.
Yeah,
Yeah, like-
ferries people around. You know, like, well, 'cause you can fly on Pokemon,
I'm
can't
going
you?
to get my Corviknight app up.
Yeah,
Call me
He's
a
like
Corviknight.
he's the Uber of
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Uber of the skies.
It looks like
Yeah.
it would kill you
Yeah.
so much as you look at it. And we got
Just
I
like
think
Uber drivers, really.
I think the other one was called Dreadnought, who's
Yeah,
like a big
Dreadnought.
snapping turtle.
Yeah,
and
look
he
like
looked
a-
pretty cool.
Fucking dope.
Yeah, and of course we got the legendaries. I can't remember what they're called. They're
No.
both dogs. One's got a shield for a head. The other's got a sword in its mouth.
Yeah,
And
very Sith. from
straight
Dark
away,
Souls.
everyone was like, "Oh, I'm going to call mine Sif." It's like,
Yeah.
"Of course you are."
Yeah, of course you fucking. You fucking. Absolutely. Yeah.
And
no, it was,
what's new features? There was this big open area called the Wild Area, which has a fully 3D camera for the first time ever in Pokemon.
Yeah, they
You can control
finally after like
They finally let you use that right analog stick.
yeah. So Hyrule Field, you know when Zelda did it in 1997, Pokemon's done it now.
Yeah,
Whoa.
big
And
advancement that.
It is finally like yeah, it's a
Pokemon.
proper like
Yeah.
basically it's what
'Cause it's
Pokemon
weirdly,
fans
like-
wanted after Red. You know when they were like, imagine seeing
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time.
They've
like
wanted this since
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the GameCube days.
Yeah, exactly. And dare I say, it looks pretty fucking dope.
It does.
So it's actually like you can see Pokemon running around
Yeah,
like
in Let's Go, you can see Pokemon before you run into them, but you
Yeah.
can battle them this time round.
Yeah, because in Let's Go, it's just like chucking a little ball.
You just
at
have to catch 'em,
Pokemon
yeah.
Go, innit?
coaxing them
Yeah.
into joining your little
But
team.
you have to battle them in this one, which people are happy about.
Yeah, mainline fucking Pokemon game. You'd expect it, right? Because Let's Go was just Pokemon Go
Yeah.
mechanics, right?
Exactly. And then what else was there? There was a thing called Dynamax, which is just making your Pokemon Godzilla size.
Yeah.
That was like a big
So
mechanic.
that's
for
what they
some
use
reason.
them stadiums for, right? That's like
That's why all the gyms are stadiums.
they have this big pastime where they all make their Pokemon massive and then fight them.
Yeah. Special moves and
Dynamax
everything.
meets, yeah.
So,
Anyone catching a Dynamax tonight? What are they calling that? What are they calling the sport? They've got to
it's
have.
just a Pokemon battle.
It's going to be like, yeah, but
It's just a gym battle.
but the specific Dynamax league. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe it is the Dynamax League.
It might be,
yeah.
yeah. You never know.
You can have that one.
Yeah.
And then the final thing they showed off was raid battles, which it's the first time they've ever had them in a mainline Pokemon game. They've had them in Pokemon Go, and now they've got them in mainline Pokemon.
What
where
happens in that?
you can team up with up to 3 other players.
To breach and clear doors, kick them in,
Well, not
chuck
quite.
in a fucking
Fight-
smoke
You
Pokemon.
just
Fight
battle a
massive
giant.
Yeah, throw a ghastly through the window.
You battle a giant Raichu, and you can catch it at the end. It's like
Specifically, that it's just
it's not just a giant Raichu. There's more than just Raichu.
Yeah, but it's
they
like an
showed
event. It's like a world event, like
they
on
should-
a
yeah.
MMO.
they showed off Raichu and
Oh,
Sableye.
okay,
I think
okay.
it was.
People team
So-
up to fight a giant, stronger
Yeah.
version of a Pokemon, like a boss.
yeah,
you know?
yeah, cool.
Yeah, so and you can have a chance at catching it. I think that was it, really.
It's quite a lot though.
Yeah.
And obviously that's all on top of the existing
Oh, and release
Pokemon
date
loop.
as well, of course.
Yeah, and you know what was like quite a surprise to me about that release date and all this bollocks? Like, went on Amazon.
What is the release date?
November
November
15th.
15th, a week after
15th.
Death Stranding. So what's weird about it is that the top seller on Amazon, the top seller for all the pre-orders, is the double pack, which is one
Yeah.
copy of Pokemon Sword and one copy of Pokemon Shield. And there's no discount. It's not cheaper.
No.
It's the exact same price buying
no
a double
different-
pack
yeah.
than buying just them both
The
separately.
only difference is you get a nice cardboard like sleeve to put them both
And
in.
that's the number one top seller.
Is
Who's
it
buying two?
Limited
To be fair,
edition?
Parents?
my friend, he buys the double pack and gives one copy to his brother. and they just split the cost like that.
Well, that was totally, yeah. I guess that's right.
I know
But
a lot,
kids,
like,
families.
Yeah, families do it, couples do it if they're both.
But that's
into
like
Pokemon.
that's outsold the single versions of it. I just found that mad, to be honest.
Yeah.
You'd surely, there's no saving.
That is weird, actually. That is pretty weird.
But I mean, that shouldn't really have been my big takeaway from it. But you know what? Yeah, I said this to Sean. Like, I looked at it, I thought it looks good, but I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not. It looks good, but
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna finish it in 2 days.
You're gonna love it. It looks cool. Like, it looks like the best one.
Love it. I don't think there's a single Pokemon game I've been disappointed in, apart from maybe Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
And is that quite recent, isn't it?
That was just like basically. I don't see why it couldn't have been DLC, to be honest.
Yeah, because that was like a remake, kind of like a remastered version.
It's like a
of
director's cut type.
Yeah,
thing.
of a game that was already out like 2 years before.
Yeah, so like something like that.
Because they obviously they were remaking like Pokemon Red and shit like decades later, but this was like 2 years later. So this is like the first mainline Pokemon game on a main console, home console.
Yep.
Even though Switch is still portable, it's a home console. In HD, first time Pokemon games in HD, mainline Pokemon game.
Mainline, yeah.
And it's got a big fucking Hyrule field in there. It sounds good on
stuff.
paper, but I just think I'm over it now. I'm not going to buy it, probably. I don't know if the 150's in there. I doubt it.
It'll probably be there at some point. You'll be able to like trade them from you. Let's Go.
I just need to get over that as well. Why does it matter if there's a Bulbasaur or not in there? If there's a new Pokemon, it shouldn't matter. But I don't know. I'm not going to get it, I don't think. But it did look fucking good, to be fair.
I mean, that goes without saying. Day one for me. Pokemon's like one of the most consistent things in my life, Pokemon.
Hear that? Like, you said that I had it all going on a minute ago. He's got a new Kojima game and a Pokemon game in a week. That's a good week for him.
Yeah.
He'll get a takeaway in the middle to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Sorted.
He'll emerge for air for a couple of days and then...
to record this podcast. Yeah, it'd be sick, that.
Not looking forward to it.
November's looking good, and then we don't know what's coming up with E3.
There could be more stuff out.
I heard rumours that Final Fantasy VII's coming out in November. I heard rumours that this new From Software's out in November.
Yeah, but even that's confusing as fuck, isn't it? Because it'll be, if Final Fantasy's coming out in November, it'll be... I don't know why I'm doing air quotes a lot. But Final Fantasy
in the audio version, he's not.
I've done it like 4 times this podcast.
Yeah.
But, so Final Fantasy VII's coming out in November.
Because it's episodic.
Right? Yeah, because it's...
But will it be now though? Like, will Sony put a first
that's
party?
That's what I mean. That's what it's like. It's just such a confusing picture for me.
We don't know if it's going multi-platform yet, do we? We know it's on PS4, but Square Enix have done their last few games on Xbox as well.
As if Sony will let them have 7 anywhere else, so they won't. I don't reckon.
I can see Sony doing their best to try and keep it. PS4.
Yeah. And then The Last of Us is like really close to being done at this point. Apparently, like they've wrapped.
Early next
all
year,
the mocap
apparently.
stuff. Apparently the story's done. Apparently the gameplay loop's done. So I don't know what other processes.
Hiding behind desks, innit? Just like fucking all the desk ducking.
all the desk
ducking is cleaned up and ready to ship.
So I've got a feeling that that'll be out in like February, March or something.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it.
I can't see winter next year. That'll be like the new console.
It'll be like God of War-ish time, won't it? Like you said.
Yeah,
March,
It'll be a swan song type.
So then,
thing.
if that is the case, then where is Final Fantasy VII going to go? I don't know.
PS5.
Well, if they're meant to be backwards compatible, the next gen of consoles, like they're saying they are, you could just buy it whenever and throw the disc in.
Yeah, true that. But I won't be buying it whenever though. I'll be buying it day one because I need that shit like cracking my head.
Me too. It's Final Fantasy.
So I don't know. I think that the Pokemon announcement was pretty popular. But
do you know what I would like to attack? Just on what Liam's just said there. I would like to have like some sort of tally of how many day one buys we've got. Because I reckon mine is fucking well lower than you two.
Oh,
Liam's obviously the far away winner.
Jake's
like
I am very susceptible. Like that's not even a word. Can't remember what to say. I'm very like.
Susceptible. You're easily
That's what
swayed.
I was trying to say.
No, I got it.
It's a hype, really. I don't. It gets me. It doesn't. It gets me quite a bit for things I like, though. Like when No Man's Sky got revealed, I didn't buy into that.
Yeah,
but if you show me like a new Resident Evil game,
it gets me though. Hype.
You're on series, aren't you? You've got like a lot of series that you like. Resident Evil, Pokemon, Final Fantasy, you're like on all these that you're like Yakuza and
they're all like day ones for me. Just because I love the franchises that much.
And I don't think I am. I think Total War off the top of my head, Fable would be like but
maybe a new From Software. Do you think?
FromSoft, of course. But then that's the studio as much as the it's not like, oh, it's another Dark Souls. Like
Yeah.
another Dark Souls game is less exciting to me even though it's the exact same thing. Another Dark Souls game is less exciting to me than another FromSoft game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. I think that a new From Software game is exciting because they've shown like consistently that they can do a new IP.
Yeah.
And new IP excites everybody. We just all forget about it because there's hardly any of the fuckers. You know what I mean?
I was so excited about Horizon Zero Dawn, and I think that like 50% of that is the newness. 50% of it is that it's just fucking robot dinosaurs. It's so far in the future
Something
that
that
there's
hasn't been done
robot
before.
dinosaurs.
But the thing, it's so annoying because you can so believe why new IP rocks, but then also, who will buy Horizon Zero Dawn 2? Everyone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the power of the sequel. I don't know. It's
I'm quite fond of a reboot as well. I found lately.
Yeah.
I'm hot and cold on them.
Well,
Doom.
only if it's a franchise that's been dead for a while.
Like Doom. If Doom
like
was perfect,
Doom was dead for quite a long time.
because there was sequels and stuff, but it just a new Doom made a lot of sense. I've got to be honest.
It was called a new Doom. That would have been good.
a
Actually.
new Doom.
Doom.
That's quite good.
It is, isn't it?
Doom.
Yeah.
Doom.
But I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare is still so fresh. I think it's because I'm
12 years
fucking
old.
right? But I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare is still feels like
It's because
relevant.
of the yearly release, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
And they
persistent.
actually did remaster it 2 years ago.
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly. It was a product that they sold and marketed 2 years ago. You're totally right. They just gave it away for free on
PlayStation
PS4,
Plus.
so it's still like relevant,
Yeah.
But then there's just Call of Duty Modern Warfare again. And if it was just like a one word or two
Modern
word,
Warfare.
or even if it was just Call of Duty
War.
again.
The game.
Just War the game.
War official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've already got War Face, which is fucking pretty much
And
there.
War Frame, yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I think that's such a long title. It's really like that specific that it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Just that detail of it being a long
feels like
title.
you've seen it before.
It's whereas Doom is I can get that. Medieval, I can get that as that's a remake, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be called like medieval, like fucking re-risen from the grave or whatever.
Which, believe it or not, they already did on the PSP. There was a remake of Medieval 1 called Medieval Resurrection.
So it could, if it was something like that,
He's on the right path, isn't he?
right? It could, I don't need it to be. I think I'm happy with it just being medieval.
Yeah.
Because it's Spyro reignited. It's not Spyro 1, 2, and 3, is it? It's Spyro reignited trilogy, Crash Insane trilogy. But sometimes it just doesn't fit. It doesn't feel right. Like,
I don't know.
It's just Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I think the game itself is like, I'm fine with what they're doing with the game. With
I think it
gameplay.
looks good, I think from what I saw, I was impressed. Will I be getting it? Yeah. But, yeah, you're right. And it's annoying. Like, I'd always prefer new stuff. So, like, Destroy All Humans got remade, or it's getting remade or whatever, and that got announced. And that's one of them from that weird era where people seem to be quite excited about it being remade. Like, but that's
I'm
from
into the idea. Yeah.
2002.
Is it just the one game though?
Yeah, so it's being
'cause
completely remade, with the cut contents being re-added into it, as far as I know.
Did you ever play it?
Destroy All Humans, and I remember it just being like...
I remember getting it for my birthday.
I had a friend like Liam, must still have a friend like Liam, called Liam, who used to he was always...
Funnily enough, he's not talking about Liam.
No, I've now
this
got
one.
2 Liams in my life, who collect a lot of video games and are called Liam, right? But this one, he, on the PS2, he had the big collection of games, and he was a bit of a connoisseur. He had some good shit, like, I played Shadow of the Colossus at his house, and he'd always be showing me these new games. I played Psyops there as well, that was another one.
That's good.
But Destroy All Humans, I remember sitting down and playing them. Stubbs the Zombie and all this on the Xbox, but that was like one of them ones, like Stubbs the Zombie or Voodoo Vince. It's just all, like... you play as a weird mascot kind of character doing wacky stuff.
In like a weird 50s Americana setting.
and I don't know, it didn't really grab me.
I think there's a couple of things that I really liked the idea of when that came out when I was a kid, right? It was the having the spaceship and having the on foot stuff. Because back then, right, it was really easy to innovate with, like, well, I'm saying it's easy to innovate, but there was a lot of room for new ideas because that sort of stuff hadn't been done too much. So floating around in a UFO and being able to run around that same little town, you can like vaporize people from the air or from the face, zone. So it's like, like GTA 3 comes out and it's like open world driving cars and that. That's such a boring pitch now. But at the time, that was a massive innovation that changed the games industry. So that little idea of like being a little alien bastard and floating around, and so will it be as appealing now?
Yeah,
I don't know.
But it's a reimagining of it as well. It's so one
it's
thing.
Got to be. It has to be. I think to even make sense.
It's been dormant too long.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, that's officially what it is, right? So the thing is, the second game had a lot of features that the first game didn't, which people were saying. So will those features make it into the first one? Well, the good news is it's not like a medieval situation where it's trying to be a complete, from the ground up thing. Like
So it's halfway between a reboot and a remake in a way then?
Yeah, it's like a reimagining. I guess that's what they're going for. So, like, that SpongeBob thing that got announced this week as well, that is a remake, trying to stay true to the original. Yeah. It's remade in Unreal Engine 4, and it's being completely... What's the word? Like, true to the original. Do you know what I mean? So they're building it from the ground up with probably with the original being played right next to them, so they can be like, okay, we need to remake this.
Yeah.
Whereas Destroy All Humans is more like, let's just make the game again. You're still an alien bastard. You're still anal probing humans and shit. But it's like, it doesn't have to be absolutely verbatim. Do you get me? So that's two approaches to the same problem, and like, doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? To me, it's like
the best reboot. The best reboot ever is XCOM, because XCOM was one particular thing in the early 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
But then the reboot it comes out and it's such a fucking amazing, in and of itself, an amazing game.
It's innovated on something that's already innovated. Yeah. How does that happen?
Makes it relevant, makes it so good that even Nintendo are willing to let another company have their IP to try and sort of do XCOM.
Yes.
That's how good it is.
Yeah, it's inspired a lot. I like Divinity Original Sin is pretty inspired by XCOM and stuff like that. This whole the tiles appear out of nowhere. Because movement in Divinity isn't tile based, so it's very much like kind of free roaming. So the fact that this is tiles and it's very, very well, it's not quite tile, but almost. It's very, very cool. XCOM combat is definitive. It's iconic. You can see it, and I'm talking about specifically. And when anybody, I guess, online mentions XCOM, they're talking about
exactly
this version of XCOM.
It's overshadowed the original.
It's
the original creator's making Phoenix Point, which is trying to sort of do the XCOM thing, but from his, more in line with his like particular like
vision.
But it was more like, I don't want to say like less arcadey because that's like a dated way of expressing it, but there's more numbers and more precision and more things to think about in Phoenix Point, and there's just like another layer of like depth and complexity. We didn't get any emails this week. We're very sad about this.
As you can see.
Not really. But we if you want to send us in an email to read out and have a chat about, whether it's opinions about E3, give us your E3 reactions, give us reactions to whatever we've been saying in the podcast, tell us what games you've been playing, tell us some thoughts you've been having about gaming, send it in to dearspecialmoves at gmail.com. That's dearspecialmoves at gmail.com. Don't worry if you've sent one in before, just send it again.
Honestly,
send some emails. Let's have a chat in it.
We could have gone through old emails, couldn't we? But we didn't. So now's the best chance. If you want an email to be sent in, it's the best chance because your competition is 0.
Yeah.
And, so do that, isn't it?
Yeah, but maybe some E3 reactions if you want something to work with. Maybe some E3 reactions and thoughts would be nice. Send us some E3 thoughts.
We're in the middle of E3. If you're watching us now, we're in the midst of E3. There was E3 yesterday, there's E3 today, and there's E3 tomorrow, mate.
And if you're one of them that's like not really into E3, but you do sort of know gaming news and that, don't worry about the E3 thing. Just look at some gaming news in it and think like, oh, that big announcement, what happened at E3. It doesn't matter about the E3 bit. Just tell us about what you think about the gaming news bit. You know what I mean?
Tell you what, if you're not into E3, just a little yearly reminder, because I think all of us have used this website. Remember E3 Recap?
Yeah.
It's the fucking best.
Site,
I don't even know it's happening this year, but it probably will be. It's like the best website.
It's literally a
massive...
You
don't want all this cringe. You don't want to see Phil Spencer in a leather jacket being a charismatic wonder god, because he's fucking Asian, though. Just want to watch the trailers. Don't care about none of that. Don't want to read the article. Go on E3 Recap. It's literally just trailer,
Tiles.
and you can just fuck the faff off and just poof.
And it gets everything as well.
Really nicely designed little website.
It's literally and do you know why I always try and plug it? Yeah, because it's just some fucking guy like who just it's not his job or nothing. I don't know what he does. He's just some guy and he just crawls out of the woodwork, makes his website,
does this banging website, and then
fucks
disappears
off for a year. Yeah,
Um,
and he just deserves the love, doesn't he? I don't think he gets anything from it. Doesn't get any money. There's no ads on the website because it just links directly to the YouTube trailers of the thing. And come on, man.
Check that out, E3 recap, and then email us your thoughts to dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Check out we've put out the latest bonus podcast, haven't we, for patrons? Which
that was a good old couple of days ago.
Yeah,
now.
so check that out if you're a Patreon. There's a new bonus podcast for you. There should be a good handful if you haven't seen any yet. Just head to our Patreon page, and there should be a bunch of bonus podcast links there.
Neat, and because they're a little bit longer than the normal podcast normally, it's like nearly 5 hours of podcasts there. If you're not a patron and you want to check out our stuff, you can get an extra 5 hours of this, which is
it's a lot of Game of Thrones talk.
Yeah, but no more. Do you know what I mean? Like the next bonus podcast we're recording next week, and there'll be no Game of Thrones.
We're fucked, man.
Fuck,
we're out of business.
Hell, yeah.
Check that out if you're a Patreon. Thanks everyone who is a Patreon supporter. Thanks everyone who is a listener and a watcher. We'll see you next week after E3, and there'll be loads to talk about, innit? See you later.